Hello, my name is Simmer Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to episode 1 of Copy and Paste. This is a new series where I am building houses that exist in real life, and I'm trying to get them as close to the reference image as possible. I do this frequently where I have a reference image and I'm building based on that, but sometimes I take, creative liberties and kind of change them up based on what I think will look better or what I want in as my taste. But now the goal is to really get them as close as possible. You will note that I don't go into debug a whole lot just because I'm not super, equipped to do debug. I don't have the tool mod and stuff like that, so we're not going to get them quite on point. And of course, this is The Sims, so not everything in real life exists here, so we're going to do our best with what we've got, and maybe as the series progresses, I will become more advanced in building or more adventurous in seeking out things in debug. So we're just going to be out here doing our best. So here on our screen is the first reference image we are going to be using here in Copy and Paste. Right from the jump, I will say this may not be the perfect photo for copy and paste. The siding at the top, that doesn't really exist, that shingle looking siding near the roof line. So right away, we're not going to get this completely on point. So it's as close as we can for The Sims. Let's just reiterate that here real quick. But what originally drew me to this house and this photo was I really like that navy siding. It's beautiful. That color alone was just kind of eye-catching. But I also know that craftsmen usually translate pretty well into The Sims. I've seen a lot of other Sims builders do them and have them work really well. But I kind of wanted something a little bit different. So when I saw the navy, I was like, oh yes, we're gonna do that one. It's different, it's funky, I like it, let's go. Alright, so while we finish up this exterior and the roof line a little bit, how are you guys doing? How is everyone? I feel like I'm doing relatively well. I'm working with a new law firm, and that's really fun, and the job's pretty interesting, and I'm doing kind of the stuff I really like doing. So a lot of legal research, a lot of what does this law mean? How does this apply? And it's been kind of interesting. One of the things I'm looking at right now is actually in California. Our governor, Gavin Newsom, just signed a piece of legislation that basically states that if there are rap lyrics involved in the evidence of some criminal proceeding, that the court has to do a balancing test to determine the, probability that those lyrics could bring in stereotypes and racial bias and stuff like that. But one of the things that I thought was interesting with this is the way that the bill is worded, or the law is worded, is that it explains creative expressions. Rap is a creative expression, but it also lists out a bunch of other things that could also be creative expression, like poetry, symbols, things like that. And it kind of leaves open this question of to what extent might this apply? But that was also the intention of the legislature, to leave it so broad so that it could apply in many different situations that we may not even fathom right now. And I think that that's kind of cool. Alright, but before I go total nerd, I am going to stop myself. My point was that I am doing well because the job I am doing right now is fulfilling and interesting. So back here to our build, we are working on our front patio with the little French door kind of thing into the living space of the home. I really like these in real life. They just seem kind of elevated or fancy, I guess, because you have another door in your house out to a nice little living space. You can open that up, bring a nice little breeze into your house. I don't know, I love that. I think that's great. So the color of the house in the reference photo doesn't actually exist in The Sims, like we talked about earlier. So really the closest thing I could get was this siding from Seasons. And I think it's close enough. I don't love it, but it's good enough. We have, the stone on the bottom. It's wood. It's navy. It's good enough for me. So we are just going to get some finishing touches here. Move the window up to the little trim there, and then I am going to speed up the footage because I wanted to make sure that we match the reference photo in that the ground meets the little patio space where that French door is. So I'm going to speed that up to 8 times the speed. I didn't think you'd want to watch me do it because the process is quite tedious. So here we go. We're just going to level it out so that it's flat with that area, and then we're going to go in and smooth it all out. I decided to kind of do it around the whole house in certain places, not the whole thing. So we're just going to do that a little bit, spread it out, make it smooth-ish so that Sims can walk up and so that it doesn't look super dramatic. I learned how to do that on a short on on TikTok, and I can't remember whose video it is now, but I definitely recommend looking up, terrain tools on TikTok, or even just like building tips on TikTok. I had no idea I would find so many, and they're all there. Like literally I found so many, like probably 10 or 12 at least, just different things that you can do, whether it's like design tips or like building tips or tips and tricks on how to do stuff in your career. I don't know, anything, everything. Like it's all there. Who would have thought? Okay, so while I'm doing this landscaping, I'm going to go on a quick tangent. I think TikTok is incredible because it's a great demonstration of how word of mouth works and how well information can spread when you put it in channels like that. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, I wonder how I could do this, and then just put something into TikTok, and all of a sudden I have a bunch of different people with a bunch of different answers, and a lot of them work. I mean, I was trying to figure out how to like tie a top into a strapless bra, and I literally pulled it up and there were like 100 different videos, and a couple of them had many different ways that you could do it. It's just so interesting, and you could literally learn so many different things on TikTok. And like same thing with YouTube, you could learn how to do freaking everything you could possibly need to on the internet nowadays. And I think that's just so interesting, and so like, why aren't these resources used more often? Also, why do my parents ask me things? Like, you have a phone. You have a literal Google machine right there. Use it. Don't ask me. I don't know crap. Go to Google. Go to the internet. It's right there. It's a great resource. Use it. Abuse it. Love it. But back to my main point there was I have learned so many different build tricks on TikTok for The Sims 4, and I think it's amazing. And if you haven't checked them out yet, you should definitely go look. Okay, tangent over. So now that we are almost done with the outside, we're just going to do a little bit finishing touches here with some terrain paint, and then we are going to go around and do a little fence guy, and then we're going to move into the interior. And with the interior, the floor plan threw me off. I tried many times, and obviously you're not going to see me try and fail 3 or 4 times, so we're just going to do the final time when I was literally moments from just saying, screw it, I'm leaving it as is, I will come back and do this another time, and somehow it managed to come together. Amazing how that happens, when you're about to give up and you're just like, okay, one more freaking time, and if it doesn't work, I'm done. It just happens to come together, and you're like, wow, cool, I understand the world is just, just rooting against me, I understand. But you know what? It came together. I shouldn't be complaining. It looks good in the end. Whatever, it's fine. So originally I was thinking I would put the kitchen and the dining space right here, right as you walk in the front door. I thought that'd be kind of cute, having, the door open to the little nook space where you can eat. And then it didn't quite work out. The flow wasn't there. It didn't feel like it was the best use of space. So after dealing with the floor plan and then, the look not coming together, I stopped recording. And then somewhere along the line, I forgot to start recording again. So we're just going to do a quick jump cut to about an hour in time later when I've completely changed the floor plan, ready to go. So I took some time off, and I decided that we were going to start with color schemes after switching the layout, and I decided that we wanted to do kind of something different and do like a blue and orange kind of thing. I've done navy a lot, the outside of the house is navy, but I don't usually gravitate towards orange. And as I'm saying that, I'm now realizing there's a lot of builds I've done with blue and orange, but I don't feel like I do it that often because this isn't a color I would usually gravitate towards, or this isn't a color combination I would gravitate towards in real life. So maybe I've done it in The Sims, but whatever, it's fine. We're just going to keep going. So I changed the layout here. I feel like this makes more sense, having like a living space in the front and then having the kitchen tucked in the back and walking kind of along that to the backyard. I couldn't decide on a color for the kitchen here, and I decided to go with the tried and true base game. I love this tile. I end up using that in all of the bathrooms, I believe, too, because it's just so versatile, and I feel like it's one of those things that you can't go wrong with. So the next thing we're going to do here is the entryway. As you can see, I already have that Dream Home Decorator rug, and we're going to bring in this nice wood tone mirror from the Werewolves pack. I really like having nice, inviting entryways with a mirror and something to put like your keys down on, maybe, a nice place to sit, to put on your shoes, what have you, all that kind of good stuff. So over here, we are going to end up with a coat rack, and I believe it is a Dream Home Decorator seat, maybe? Yeah, this little guy here. So we're gonna get this guy and then the coat rack. And I really like how this space turns out. I feel like it's super cute, it's inviting, and it kind of fits the space too. It's just a nice little like nook spot. And I don't know, the shoes are a nice touch too. Over here underneath the stairs, I didn't know really what I wanted to do. There's not a whole lot of space, but I also didn't want to leave it empty. My original thought was desk, and then I thought, okay, let's try a bar because you can like flip the bar around. But I don't know, I eventually changed it back to a desk. I just feel like that's a better use of the space, especially since I didn't end up using any of the bedrooms as an office. And I feel like at this point when I was building, I thought maybe I could. Then I decided now we'll just put the little desk space here. So we will end up changing that. So just be aware. Hello. So moving now to the first bedroom we're going to furnish here. It is a kid's bedroom. And the color scheme is going to follow us from the rest of the home into this bedroom. We've got the Dream Home Decorator bed in the blue and orange swatch. And then we're going to get some blue and orange items. We're going to get that desk in here. We're going to get that wardrobe in. We're going to get a nice little rug from Parenthood eventually. And then a nice little fun accent wall with the blue and orange like ombre thing. I did not know where I wanted to put this bed at first. I heard that it's bad feng shui to put a bed underneath a window. And I mean, that feels like it would be kind of odd because I mean, like, what if the window broke on your head and like glasses in your bed? I don't know. I'm sure there's a different reason. I don't know. Maybe eventually I will learn feng shui, but my life's a little crazy at the moment. So for now, I'm just going to listen to the rumors I hear. So I didn't want to put the bed underneath the window, and I really wanted to like clutter the space, but I also didn't want there to be like too much going on here. The house seems like it's relatively well kept, and like in my mind, I'm seeing like a mom who's like super strict, and she's like, clean your bedroom, clean it up. We have guests, and like the guests are never in your bedroom, but you know, mom wants a nice clean home. So maybe we've got a neat mom living here, or a neat sim living here, and she makes sure that the kids' room is clean, especially since it's downstairs in one of the first bedrooms that anyone might actually see. You know, never know. Maybe someone will walk in this room by accident trying to find the bathroom, but I think that even without a whole lot of clutter, this room still looks good, especially because of that like ombre wall that we've got. I feel like you can get away with having a little bit more of a low-key space just because there's something of interest to like pull your eye to. So after we finish this bedroom, we are going to move to the bathroom. The bathroom, though it is the same as all the other bathrooms that we're going to do in the house, is quite different. I think with these bathrooms in this house, we do something different than I've ever done before, and we do a blue concrete floor. And pairing that blue concrete floor with the same tile in the kitchen, I think kind of gives it a nice look. The like blue accents in that tile bring out the blue in the floor, vice versa rather. And the orange kind of cuts up the blue along with the white accents in the wall and then in all of the plumbing and stuff. And I kind of like how it looks. We're going to get a couple of little like decorative items, and then most of the bathrooms are going to look pretty much exactly the same. So I likely will not be including all of the other bathrooms in the rest of this footage, but we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling when we get to that part in the voiceover. As I'm sure you can tell though, I am very dedicated to this blue and orange theme that we got going on throughout this house. I am going to put it in as many places as possible, and that's just going to be what it's going to be. So moving now into this other bedroom that's down here on this floor, in my mind, this is like the grandma or like the mom of the parents of the child who lives in the bedroom 2 doors over. Right now, as I'm building this house, actually, my grandma is currently living with us. My grandfather had hip surgery, and she didn't want to stay at their house, even though it's just a couple miles from us. So we've got a spare bedroom. She wanted to stay with us for the couple weeks while he was in the hospital recovering and in this rehab program. So kind of, I guess, as a tribute to her, I decided to do this bedroom kind of like a grandma vibe, I guess. Maybe not necessarily old, but I just kind of got grandma vibes from this bedroom. It was very like pastel, purple, sweet, simple, and it kind of just was inviting in a grandma kind of way, if that makes any sense at all. However, if I was going to do like her dream bedroom, honestly, I would probably end up using one of those wallpapers with all the flowers on it because she's very much a flower kind of person. Her name is Joyce, but her nickname is Daisy. And I've been driving her to and from the hospital. I'm like her little chauffeur. And we call it Driving Miss Daisy, like the movie, because we are driving Miss Daisy. She also really likes crafts and painting and sewing and stuff like that, but I unfortunately do not have the knitting kit, so if I did, I would have put some of those things in here for her, or in her dream bedroom, I guess you could say, her dream home. Maybe one day I will build her a little dream home. While she was here with us, she was looking at some of the stuff that I've been building, and she's so cute. She has no idea, like, how video games work. Granted, neither do I, but I have better understanding of like what's going on, and I'm trying to explain to her what things are. And she asked me if The Sims had anything to do with emojis, and I guess no, I can't even. I don't even know how to explain like what the difference is between emojis and The Sims, and I wonder if she meant like the like avatars that you can create. What's it, the Bitmojis? She may have meant Bitmojis, but she doesn't even understand those. So trying to understand what she was talking about was a feat in itself. So trying to explain The Sims sounded impossible, and I could not. I just was like, I built this house on a program, and she accepted that answer, and I didn't push it any further. So moving back into the build, back to what I'm supposed to be talking about here, we are doing another bathroom. I decided to leave the footage in for this one because I do this cute little like curtain moment here. I don't know why I thought that was interesting at all, but I was like, sure, let's do it. I like it. The window is off center so that it can be more centered for the outside, and it looked silly otherwise, so I decided just to do that little curtain moment, and I thought, hey, we'll show the people. But otherwise, it's basically the same. You can see me copy and pasting, and yeah, so after a couple of decorations in here, we are going to move on to the hallway next door and then into the primary bedroom over there, and it's going to be relatively simple. I was kind of over it at the time I got to this point. I really felt like there is so much space up here, and I couldn't figure out a better configuration of the entire house so that we better utilize this space up here. So by this point, I was just kind of like, we're just going to get it done. We're going to put in some decorations. We're going to get the house finished, and we'll move to the outside so I can finish landscaping and call it. So in this primary bedroom here, we are going to keep with that blue theme, but instead of the orange, we're going to switch to a brown neutral tone, and I think that kind of fits. We're going to bring in a different wood tone here as well in that dresser, and I just think it's like a nice fit. It's a comfy space. It feels warm and inviting, even though it isn't super, busy or decorated, and I like it. Alright, so though we're not going to use that fun little piece, the luggages, we are going to do something new here. We're going to use this new little like wood block thing from the new Desert Luxe kit. The kit is free still, so make sure to go get it if you haven't already. If you're a Sims player, make sure you go redeem your free kit. So in here, we are going to use that cool new table. There are so many swatches on that little guy, and I think it's so cool. So I used this one here with like the blue and brown tones. Maybe it's more of a gray, I don't know. But I think it's really interesting, and I turned that one piece so they kind of have a different look, but also I wanted that little triangle to be on the inside. So I think it's kind of interesting that they look the same, but they look different. I don't know. It's cute. I'm a fan. And of course, I love those curtains. They are mwah, chef's kiss. That being said, we are going to change them out. They just kind of look odd having them like that, having them A, overlap, and B, take up the rest of that window or the rest of that wall. It feels like too much, and I didn't want to have them covering the window at all because I wanted the window to look bigger. So I do feel like changing the curtains to that one wasn't a bad decision. We'll accept it. We are just going to add some final little touches of clutter into this little nook space, and then we're going to move to the exterior. So back here, we're just going to do a little landscaping in this little corner. I like this big bush. I use it pretty frequently. I feel like it fills space pretty well, and you can put a couple of them side by side, and they look like they're growing together. We're just going to add a couple of the other little pieces that I've got from the front yard, make it look cohesive and all that jazz, and then we're going to continue on to the furnishing of the exterior. I realize this is going to be a pretty pack-heavy build. Right there, that was the romantic garden table and grill. I did not even think about it while I was furnishing this, and I apologize if this includes a lot of packs that you don't have. I didn't want to leave that little side yard empty, so I decided to fill it in with those bushes and the grass and just call it a day. Of course, you can't go wrong with a swing set, never mind me hitting random keys, and I figured we would go with these planter boxes. They seem to take up a lot of space, and it's a nice skill building item, so you can plant some stuff. I keep with kind of like a simple build or simple landscape style. I do end up getting that little corner filled up. I do that pretty frequently where I just kind of put a bunch of plants in a corner near some trees, but I like the way that it usually frames the living space of the backyard. So I'm just going to keep doing it because I like it. I am going to speed up this footage here so it's not at 4 times the speed because this is dull. This is dull to watch. Okay, so let's speed through this landscaping real quick here. Sorry if you appreciate landscaping. I feel like it's really repetitive, especially since I'm reusing a lot of the same items over and over again. So we're just going to speed through this real quick. And then we will slow back down when we get back to furnishing the little like front patio space. Of course, we got to have a cute little like pebble path to our garbage can and like around the backyard. I like how that looks. I really like the pebble, especially because it's got that grass underneath. I would say this, I would say this or that new pebble that we got, a few months ago. I think about the time the Werewolves pack came out. I think those two are probably my favorites. So now we're going to move to this little front patio space here. Those are the Romantic Garden outdoor furniture set. I really like that pack. I love this kind of outdoor furniture, so I apologize for using that. And then we got that nice, I think that's Get Together, maybe, fireplace. I think that's super cute for outdoor spaces. If I had the Dine Out pack. If I had the Dine Out pack, I would use that for outdoor seating because I think it's a cute little thing and I could see that at a restaurant. Moving in here, we're just going to do some final little touches and then we're going to swap out the bar for a little like office nook space. So once we finish with this little spot here, we will be done with this build and I will take us into the game so we can do a live tour of the first home of the copy and paste series. So we're just going to get this little plant in there, make it super cute, and then we will go see the house. Alright, so here we are with our teal suburban home. I did move lots and actually completely new save file altogether to do this walkthrough. The original plan was to have a sim here, and because I built the home in the save for my 100 baby challenge, I was afraid that doing the walkthrough may screw up the timeline. If you are not watching the 100 baby challenge that I am doing, make sure you come back on Thursdays for new videos. So here again is our house. Let's get a reference photo up for you guys so you can remember what we were building towards, and let's start the tour, shall we? So over here we do have that little patio space with those cute little furniture, the outdoor furniture set from the Romantic Garden. I really like how the landscaping turned out. It's simple, but it's still cute. Let's go down and into our house, shall we? So into the interior, we've got the little entry space here. I like how this turned out too. It's very cute. I did take the navy walls off of these 2 walls. Those were originally navy, but I felt like it was a little dark, so we went with just the one. And here's our little like living space here. Very cute. Ignore the grass poking through. I'm too lazy to fix it at the moment. I really love this kitchen. I'm a little sad that it didn't put cabinets up here. I thought, actually, you know what? Didn't I put counters up here? Maybe not. I have to go back and check that. If I didn't, then that would be cute. There's our little nook space. Here's our little like alcove. We have the kids' bedroom. Well, we've got a lot of grass sticking through the house, through our walls. Oops, my bad. There's our nice little bathroom and little like granny suite. Super cute. Into the upstairs, we have our primary bedroom and primary bathroom. It's kind of nice to have just that upstairs. Again, I do kind of wish I'd gotten more space up here, more rooms or whatever, but I'm still kind of okay with how this looks, and I'm okay with a 3-bedroom house. So that is our house, and then moving to our exterior, I really like it. I really like how this turned out. I love this little pathway. I love the swing set and the kind of simple but nice landscaping in the area. Thank you again for joining me. This has been Copy and Paste Episode 1. Be sure to come back to my YouTube channel on Mondays and Thursdays for new videos, and Copy and Paste will be a new series on my channel. It'll probably be a once a month kind of dealio. So if you like this video, if you like this build, if you like builds like this or videos like this, please let me know. Shoot this video a like and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm sending you all of the positive vibes and happy simming.